Yes.
Mm-hmm.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, FCMS. My name is Autumn,
And I'm Caitlin.
and
Welcome back to Precise Advice.
To help us today on our second episode is Mrs. Anderson.
Thanks for coming. We're here to discuss something that spreads like the plague throughout nearly all schools.
Drama. Since drama is such a common trouble that middle schoolers face, we're going to show you guys how to handle it in a variety of circumstances. So hello, Mrs. Anderson.
Hello.
So in order to understand the roots of drama, we have to understand what the causes of it are, how to prevent it, and how to see when it's coming.
Okay.
So what are your thoughts?
You're right in that it's really common in middle school. I think sometimes the cause is peer conflict, and people like to spread rumors, unfortunately. It gives people something to talk about, something to kind of, bring up conversation with other people. So just something, unfortunately, that happens quite a bit. So
And just plain negativity
Correct.
in general that's rooted in people for many other reasons can result in people wanting to get involved in drama more. And that's something I've observed in my time in middle school is my peers getting involved in so much drama and always being so negative about everything.
And like drama is definitely like a huge thing with relationships because like drama can start right after a breakup and everything.
And drama is kind of like, a code word for rumors, right? And people just talking about one another and not, always in a positive way. I think sometimes when people engage in drama or rumor spreading and things like that, it's because sometimes it's easier to talk about other people than it is to deal with things that we've got going on,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
How do you think that drama continues or rumors keep going?
Personally, I think it happens necessarily I think it keeps going. Say when you call someone a name, there's gonna be names called back, and that just kind of leads into a whole nother circumstance of drama. It's all starts with one thing, which is you call one person a name as a joke, and then it says it continues on, and then it builds up to actual drama.
Kind of like
Right.
a snowball.
Yes.
Exactly. Exactly. And you've played the game telephone before, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's obviously how rumors and drama, kind of gets their momentum.
Yeah.
Is the more people talk about it, the more people engage, because it's, I think sometimes people think it's fun, something to talk about.
Yeah, I've definitely had friends who experience the fun in drama, and I know one cause that can start people to want to be in drama is having personal issues. Can want people people who don't get enough attention per se. Multiple things like that with home issues can lead to drama. So say there's one dumb reason drama started. It's usually a family matter.
Sometimes. Yeah, I mean, as far as within families, it's definitely something that can happen, I think, with families and friends here at school. I find with kids here at school, the drama typically comes from, so-and-so said this, right? Or, oh, I heard they broke up because of this. Or, it's just things
It's
that
all about
are-
the he said, she said.
Correct. It's, 9 times out of 10 not factual at all. So,
Yeah.
for sure.
So let's say preventative measures are taken, but a student still gets involved in drama. What are ways that students can stop drama, and if they can't do that, remove themselves from the situation?
I think it's difficult to prevent, getting involved in drama in the sense that from the outside. So let's say that you're with a group of friends and one friend is bringing a rumor up that they heard. Because you are associated with that conversation, you're sort of involved. Does that make sense? So in that regard, it's easier to distance yourself, and that like if someone is talking about someone else, you can simply remove yourself from that conversation and go do something else, or go talk to someone else. Another more brave, I think, thing to do is to say, you know, like let's change the subject. Like let's talk about, I don't even know, like whatever you saw on your Netflix series last night or something, you know, something that you guys have in common that doesn't involve talking about other people in a negative way. Because nobody likes to be talked about like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Personally, what I've experienced, because everybody's been through drama, you can't just hide that.
Yeah.
But personally, what I've dealt with, like kind of ending it necessarily, I would say that I've personally just said, hey, I'm not arguing over something this stupid. Because there's always dumb things that me and my friends do that get mad at each other. And, like, we just kind of try and break it off. I know, like, me and Autumn are both personally in choir.
Yeah.
So, like, it's just, there's so many little things that happen. And, like, some people, like, have their certain issues, which it depends on the person. But some people, like, get more mad over little things.
Sure.
And then, like, some people can take a lot. And, like, you don't really know that about your friends. So drama does kind of help open your eyes on, like, what is the issue that you need to prevent yourself from having. And I personally think drama is a very bad thing. But I think to get into it once with your friend kind of builds up bond, because then you can see that you don't want it. And then you can kind of understand the things that they don't like. So then you understand that what not to bring up.
That's a good point. It's a good way to kind of like practice resolving conflict, you know?
Yeah.
If you have to experience drama and rumors and things like that, which are somewhat inevitable in middle school, it is a good opportunity to practice, you know, like you said, if you're friends with someone, to like how to go about resolving that issue with them or whatever the case may be.
Learning, even if it's learning the hard way, will be beneficial as long as you're applying what you've learned.
True.
If you're not applying what you've learned, you're going to get involved in drama over and over and over
Correct.
and over and never gain anything from it.
Right.
That
Right.
stinks.
Yeah, and like when you're in drama, instead of like going and talking crap to your other friends about, say, your one friend did something, like,
Right.
hey, my friend stole my pencil, and it was like my last pencil. Instead of going and telling all your friends that, I just say, hey, can I get my pencil back? And if they don't give it back, you know, just try and like go find another pencil and be like, hey, I'm not gonna let you borrow my things. Like, no need to get a teacher. Like, only reason I would say go get a teacher involved if it's something major. And I wouldn't say necessarily go to a teacher. I'd say go to a guidance counselor like you, because I know you can solve issues.
I try. Well, I mean, to avoid drama just in and of itself, just don't talk about someone, you know, don't talk about something that isn't your own business, you know?
Yeah, just stay out of other
just
people's
stay
business.
out of it. If you have an issue with someone, the best thing that you can do is talk to that person themselves, face to face, not even through text, not through email, but just to simply go up to that person, especially if you're friends, and say, like, hey, this kind of bothered me. Can we talk about it? Or, you know, and using those I statements are really important too, so that the person or people don't feel like you're accusing them of something, right? In order to resolve the conflict, that's typically the best way, you know, to kind of handle that. But I would say if you, just as a student, if you try to resolve conflict or rumors or drama, whatever you want to call it, peacefully, and it's continuing, one of the best things you can do is get advice and talk to an adult, whether that's a parent or an older sibling, a teacher, me, Mrs. Tracy, you know, whoever it may be, just to ask for help. But I always like to see students try to resolve things themselves peacefully first, because that's something you're going to have to do as you go. You know what I mean? As you grow up.
Yeah, you're going to need to learn how to resolve conflicts and troubles on your own.
Right.
You're not always going to have older people and teachers
Yeah.
and authority figures to tell you how to solve your problems, you
That's
know?
right. That's right.
Yeah, for sure. Those things, definitely big things. To cover those little things that start drama is like dumb things. So those are the ones you just back out of. And say with those texts and emails, really, instead of going and apologizing through a long text, you can't see someone's facial expressions. That's
Right.
why I'm always
Right.
like hesitant about those. But if you just walk up to someone and say, "Hey, I'm sorry, I know what I did is wrong," that kind of gives them more of like they're actually serious. And like with text, if you really like want to say something to someone, you know, like drama, it like people get really mad in drama. And so you can want to go and like text someone something. Like say you have a friend's number, you want to go text them something. Like you should just go block them. I know I had to do that with my friends to go and stop me from saying something, or go and stop them from saying something. I've just
Or even
blocked them.
giving your phone to, to an adult or somebody to just like remove the temptation, you know?
Yeah.
Because it is really easy to just, I mean, your phone is or your device is your kind of window to the world, right? You have easy access, really quick access to all things, and you don't have that like opportunity to pause and think before you act, right? Which is why sometimes texting or emailing or whatever the case may be, messaging leads to more drama. Because you
Yeah.
can't, I don't know, sometimes it's easy to say stuff behind a screen that you wouldn't say in person.
When you're in drama and you have like your phone on you, it's a lot easier to make impulsive and irrational decisions based off of emotion and less so on how it will affect yourself in the future. That's something I've gathered.
For sure. Definitely. But having those, face-to-face conversations are things that we've kind of gotten out of the habit of doing, just in the age of, this, century and all the different technology and the things that can be really cool and great to use. But they've kind of stopped our ability, I think, to like have social skills, and be able to talk face-to-face and understand from, person to person how things make each other feel and that kind of stuff.
I think another like thing we should definitely talk about is definitely like when you're the bystander in that. When you're the person who's hearing the stuff. We've heard about rumors necessarily, but like say you're a friend of both sides. You're stuck in the middle. That is definitely like one of the biggest things. So like what would you tell someone who's like in the middle of it? And you want to be friends with both, but you don't really know.
Yeah, it's hard to do. I mean, if you are truly friends with someone, you should be able to say to that person, like, hey, I'm friends with so-and-so as well, and I know you guys are having issues. Maybe whenever you and I are hanging out, can we not talk about this person, or can we maybe avoid that topic? I'd love to be able to help you out and resolve it, but if you're not ready to do that yet, then I just need you to respect my point of view as far as not wanting to be in the middle. And I know, and obviously in your own words, right? That's a very adult way to say that. But if you, say that to them and the friend, you find yourself like having to repeat that several times to that friend, then they're not honoring what you're asking. And that in and of itself sometimes can be, kind of a way to think through your friendships, like, if this friend isn't kind of respecting, my boundaries and whatnot, maybe I need to think through those friendships a little bit too.
Yeah, definitely what I kind of go for, like, if my friends both get in drama and, like, say, like, I'm not going to pick sides. I'm like, guys, I'm not going to pick sides. But say one friend keeps on bugging you and, like, pick my side. I'm, like, going to be like, I'm not friends with you. Just, if you are going to make me pick a side, I'm not going to be friends with you. I will personally be friends with, say neither of you guys are picking sides, I'll be friends with both. But if one of them's making me pick sides, I'm going to be friends with the other one. because I'm just like one of their friends. I don't need to be put in their drama.
No one can make that decision for you.
Yes.
I've been in a situation where 2 of my friends were involved in drama, and I actually didn't feel pressured to pick a side, and I didn't. And they felt really uncomfortable around each other, and I felt kind of bad because, I'm friends with both of them, and they feel really uncomfortable around each other, and they were friends, but now they're not.
Right.
But I'm glad that the both of them respected my wish to not talk about the other around me.
That's good. Yeah, for sure. That's best case scenario, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that requires a lot of maturity, a lot of like confidence in who you are. And
Yeah.
at your age, that's a really normal thing for kids to be going through, trying
Yeah.
to figure out, who they are and their own confidence and stuff. So sometimes that happens.
So with the aftermath of drama, the drama's over, but there's still some tension between the people involved. How can that tension be resolved, and how can relationships be mended?
I think the best answer is just time. If you have resolved a conflict, but there, like you said, there's still tension, which there's going to be, especially the longer the rumors go on, the longer the
Yeah.
drama goes on. Like, it's just the effects of that are going to be pretty long-standing. But if you are kind of agreeing to coexist, right, peacefully and be respectful of one another, but still, just kind of weird, together, you just need time. And the more time that goes by, the more opportunities you have to kind of mend the hurt that has happened and mend any of those broken bridges, that have happened.
For me, it took time. When I was involved in some pretty nasty drama with one of my friends, it took months for both of us to truly get over it.
Right.
And then I decided, okay, look, I'm not going to let this affect me anymore. I'm going to move on. And now I'm closer with this friend than I've ever been. And it's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I've also experienced that personally, like with a really close cousin, exact same age as me, in the same grade. Me and him had so many problems, and then it took us a year. We were far apart. Like, we separated for a year, no conversations, didn't even try and reach out together. And it was at my uncle's reception, we started slowly conversation, and it was weird being, like, close at first, and then we slowly started talking more, texting, hanging out way more, and now me and his bond are like way closer than ever.
Yeah, because you resolved that conflict, right? And you were able to still be respectful of each other. And you also set that boundary and that expectation for your relationship moving forward. Right?
Yeah, we were definitely like texting back and forth. We were like, we're not doing this. And me and him were like discussing that for a while. We're like, I don't like this. I don't like this. Like, please do not call me this.
Right.
We should definitely, when this happens, we're like, when we start to get upset at something, just set our phones down, set whatever we're doing down, and just separate. And like, that has caused us to be so close. So like, say you got something with a family member, a friend, definitely like with someone going on, not just you, your friend, you and your friend both have to make that decision to set the boundary.
Correct.
Because not one person can set the boundary. You guys both have to meet in the middle of that. And then that's what causes you to grow more and more as friends.
Yeah, communication between both people and knowing what each person is and isn't comfortable with is great in mending and resolving that tension and becoming close again.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Just takes time.
Yeah, that's definitely what all people want to know. It's not just gonna be fixed right away.
It's not going to be easy. Nope.
Drama is definitely one of the toughest things as a middle schooler. Your body's growing, you're changing, your mind's changing,
Right.
and that's what causes all the emotions nowadays. And with social media kind of is what kids see, and they're like, oh,
Right.
it's okay to make fun of people.
Right.
So like social media puts things in kids' heads, and then like your mind's just all changing, and that's what really causes drama and everything.
Right.
Because everybody's just like, oh, no. It's not that, it really is.
Like just
If
being
you-
very reckless and thoughtless on
Yep.
social media.
What you fill your mind with is like what you fill your life with usually.
Yeah, say like if your mindset is set at one thing, it is not going to be set there forever.
Yeah.
Like if you want drama, you don't like it's say there's something you want, people want certain things, and like if your mind's set on just staying mad at people, you gotta like it's not going to be set on that forever.
Hopefully.
If you continue to make it that way, it's gonna stay there. But if you try and pull yourself away from stuff, then it's definitely gonna be that way. Like I know as a little kid, like I was very like mean to people, and like now like I try and help people and stuff. So like definitely gotta develop your brain set the way you want it to be. Like nowadays, I know if you come into our classroom and tried to like explain things and be like, your mind is growing, so you gotta be the person who puts positive things in there.
That's right. I'm glad you listened.
Yeah, we do listen. There's some people who
Good.
don't, but
Good.
we
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, don't worry.
Awesome. So, does that help?
Yeah, I think that's gonna help quite a few kids. So thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for joining us on our
second
second episode of Precise Advice.